Alright guys, so here's the review of the Cadisen C8193. So this is a Royal Oak Homage, sometimes referred to as the Cadisoak, I think that's right. But I tend to call it, well I prefer to call it the Cadisoak, it's just easier to say and just flows a bit better I think. But you know what I mean anyway. So this has been out for a while, but this is the new colour. So this is the new green one. They've got two different green versions. I've obviously got one of them into review. So full disclosure, I was sent the watch for free. I don't have to send it back, but as always, it's not going to change the way I do my reviews. Going to keep it 100% honest all the time, no matter what. So, like I say, I've been trying it out for a while. Question is it any good? Is it worth getting? Let's get down to it and find out. So, here it is. So you might have seen, like I said in the intro, this one before, but you won't have seen this colour before, because this is a new colour. So, quite nice packaging, nothing fancy, but protects the watch nicely. And then we've got the usual, got the instruction manual, warranty card, etc. Not dated or anything though, not a lot of use. And then we've got cleaning cloth. And then quickly pop the watch to one side for a second. Get that out of the way. So we've got the links I've taken out, which are just push pin links. And then you get this little tool as well. So here's the actual watch. As you can tell, this is one of the new green dial versions. So get a zoom in on that, because that's why you're probably here. You've probably already seen this reviewed already, but you want to know what that green's like. And I do think it looks good. Combined with that detailing on the dial, that waffle pattern, I just think it is a really nice combination. So we've got fully applied indices, and we've got Loom in them. Got that date window at the 3 o'clock, and then with the text of the Cadisen and the automatic 100 meter at the bottom, that's all just printed. But the hands, they're nicely finished, as are the indices, all nicely lined up, no obvious issues there. So if we zoom back out, let's talk about the rest of the case, because it is quite interesting the finishing on this. So we've got brushed sides and a fully brushed bracelet. But then when it comes to the actual bezel, the top of it's brushed. Those rivet screw things, they're polished, just to add a little bit of detail. But then so is the side of the bezel as well, with that detailing. So that is nicely done. Get a zoom in actually, show you a bit more detail. Give it a quick wipe. So I do like that. It's nicely finished too. And then we've got that sign crown while we're around here, you can see that. And again, that's a nice angular shape, just fit in with the rest of the design of the watch. And then we've also got these little polished details at the top, which are pretty cool. Do quite like that. Just helps tie it all together. So zoom back out and talk about the rest of this bracelet. So we've got the Cadisen on the bottom there as well, but I'm not overly keen on this. It's a little bit loose. It's not come undone or anything. It stays fastened, but it's just a little bit, doesn't look great or feel all that great when you're wearing it, because it is just a butterfly clasp. And then with it being an integrated bracelet and solid end links and everything, it is nicely finished. But again, butterfly clasp, so you don't have any micro adjust, so sizing could be an issue. So we've got display case back on there with the NH35 inside. It's a screw down case back as well. We've got the Cadisen automatic sapphire crystal. Then we've got the model number and the fact that it's 100 metre water resistant. So quickly pop this down now, and then we'll test whether it is actually sapphire crystal using the trusty diamond selector 2. And yep, we have got sapphire crystal. Just quickly test the back. And that's just mineral on the back, but you kind of expect that given the price. It's not very often you get sapphire on the back as well. So now let's get to the important bit, and that's the dimensions. So we've got a thickness of 12mm. When it comes to the lug width, the internal lug width in there is actually 20, but with it being an integrated bracelet, you're probably not going to be swapping it out because it would look a bit odd. When it comes to diameter, it's 42mm. Now with the lug to lug, because it's an integrated bracelet, and the fact that it doesn't just fall straight down, comes out on a slight curve, well not a curve, an angle, it does protrude quite a bit. So the effective lug to lug is 57.3, but again, because that angle's down quite steeply, it does conform around your wrist quite well, but I'll show you that in a minute so you can see what I mean a bit better. It's a little bit difficult to show through the measurements. Before we do that though, let's quickly test out what the loom's like. So you can see a little bit already, but charge it up, give it a proper chance. And there it is. I was actually pleasantly surprised when I first tried out the loom on this. It's a little bit better than I was expecting. Is it great? No. But it's usable. It definitely won't be lasting you all night, but it's not too bad. For the price you're paying, it's okay. So all that's left to do now is show you what it's like on wrist. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist. And as I was saying earlier, sizing is a little awkward, so this is a touch big for me really, but if I take another link out it's a little bit tighter than I'd like, so I'm wearing it slightly larger. So that's something to be aware of. But when it comes to this, the lug to lug I was on about earlier, so the point I was measuring from was actually this link here, which is already starting to curve around my wrist, so it does wear a bit better than you'd expect really. But when it comes to measuring it, it's a little awkward. I guess I could have measured from here, but technically it is coming out there, if that makes sense. So 7-inch wrist or above, it wears nicely. If you've got a smaller than 7-inch wrist, it's probably going to be a bit big. But that's it for this one guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.